Hi, this is Press of Atlantic City sports editor Mark Melhorn, and I'm here with our high school beat writer Mike McGarry. We're going to talk about this Friday night's South Jersey Group 3 title game as Hammonton hosts Timber Creek. And Mike, Hammonton's in a familiar spot here. They've been back to this game. I think this is at least the second time.
Second straight year. They lost to Shawnee last year, undefeated Shawnee team at Shawnee, so they're back second time. Second straight year. Hammonton hasn't won a South Jersey title since 1996 when they capped a streak where they had won 3 and 4. They've been back to the title game 4 or 5 times since then, but they haven't been able to get a win, so they're looking to break through Friday night.
Right. I mean, you know, they do have a history of doing well in the playoffs, but not quite getting over that hump of actually winning the title game, at least not in the last 10 years or so.
Well, I mean, they're a perennial power, and talking to Coach Pete Lancetta this week, you know, he made an excellent point. I mean, a lot of the teams that Hammonton played in the title games, you know, they're one and done. They go to a title game and then you don't hear from them for 5 or 6 years. Hammonton is there every single year, and a lot of the title games they played in since 1996, Hammonton went into those games as a big underdog. It was probably an upset that Hammonton even got there. It's a credit to their program, the players, and the coaching that they even got to the game in the first place. So, you know, you can't get down on them for that. This year they're going in, though, as the top seed, 10-1, number 2 in the Press Elite 11. They're at home, so this year they're actually going in probably, you know, as a slight favorite against Timber Creek, but a game that's really a toss-up when you get to this level.
Right, and we sent our video reporter Patrick Carragher out to Hammonton recently to talk to Hammonton coach Pete Lancetta and quarterback Nick Crescenzo about what they think the history and additional pressures that Hammonton is facing going into this game because of the fact that they've been in this spot before but haven't quite been able to get over that hump to win the title game.
I mean, do you feel any extra pressure to win this game? You know, seeing as you guys haven't won, you know,
No, I mean, I just think, hey, you know, the fact that we've been there so many years, I think is a tribute to our program. You know, a lot of times you'll see schools who are there, then you don't see them again for 5 years. You know, but you know, I'm not going to apologize for being there and not winning. You know what I mean? You know, one of these years we'll get it done, and hopefully this will be the year.
Do you guys feel any added pressure to win? You know, this being a state title game, you know, just kind of that you guys haven't won this in a few years for this school?
Not necessarily any added pressure. Just after last year, I mean, kind of want to get a little revenge and guess a little more motivation just because we lost last year, just see what it feels like to win. I mean, the seniors, I mean, this year we won it a lot, so we'll see what we can do.
All right, Mike, we heard from Crescenzo there. Him and his cousin are 2 of the key players for Hammonton. Who else on the Blue Devils needs to step up big on Friday night? And then also on the other side of the ball for Timber Creek, who do the Blue Devils have to look out for and try to stop?
Well, Hammonton will be the same guys that basically week in and week out. Nick Crescenzo, like you mentioned, at quarterback. David Crescenzo at halfback. Josh Baez at fullback. Been a real good addition for the team.
Come on strong late.
Come on strong on offense and defense. And, of course, Ian Evans. You know, he caught a 61-yard touchdown pass against St. Joe last Saturday. He's headed to the University of Maryland. Key player on defense. Antonio Rodriguez at linebacker. His twin brother, Julio Rodriguez. Jared Sanchez, big 17-yard run against St. Joe to set up the winning field goal. So Hammonton really a senior-dominated team with a lot of big play players. And then, of course, there's my man Esteban Sandoval, winning field goal against Seneca, winning field goal against St. Joe.
Right.
Pete Lancetta said things happen in threes. Does he have another one in him this week? I don't know. But, you know, he's obviously shown the ability to kick under pressure the past 2 weeks.
Now, who on Timber Creek do they have to look for? I know they have one of the more dominant running backs, I believe, in southern New Jersey.
Right. Timber Creek's got 2 really big-time, big-play football players at the skill positions. Najee Gibson, running back, headed to the University of Temple, has had an outstanding season, scored on a 90-yard touchdown run against Morristown in the quarterfinals. Demir Bird, junior wide receiver, another Division I college prospect. Rutgers, South Carolina have offered him scholarships, scored on a 50-yard run against Lacey Township in the semifinals. The one thing that Hammonton must do is slow down those 2 guys and limit the big play. They can't give up the big play. And, of course, the easiest way not to give up the big play is to keep the ball out of Timber Creek's hands. If Hammonton can control the ball with their running game and keep the Timber Creek offense on the sideline, it'll be better for, obviously things will be better for Hammonton.
And Coach Lancetta and Nick Crescenzo talked a little bit about this game and what are some of the keys they think they need to do to stop Timber Creek.
All right, obviously, Timber Creek is very skilled at the quarterback and wideout position. I mean, what do you have to do to kind of combat against their big play potential?
Well, that's the thing. We have to prevent the big play and make them drive the length of the field if they could. I mean, and if they can do that, well, then we're going to be in for a long night. But, we just tell our defense, kind of like we said Winslow, they're going to make their first downs, they're going to make their yards, but how many times can we get off the field without giving up points? That's what, our philosophy is going to be. Well, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we think, we can throw the ball when we have to. I think we've proven that. But it's no secret. We're going to, we need to be able to run the ball in order to be successful. And if we do that, that certainly helps out our defense as well.
Talented at the skill positions. I mean, what do you guys think you have to do defensively to stop that big play ability that they have?
Well, mainly we just got to cover the passes and prevent the big play. And we got to wrap up and got to hit till there's no seconds left on the clock.
All right, I mean, how important do you think establishing the running game and controlling the clock is going to be?
Well, I mean, long drives that we end up scoring on are going to be important, and on defense, getting off the field without them scoring any points is going to be big.
All right, we heard from Crescenzo there, and one of the things, Mike, that is big for every football player, especially if you're a senior, this is his last game playing for Hammonton High School. They've been to this point a couple times in his 4-year career. Crescenzo and some other seniors on this team, this is their moment here for them to try to make a final statement before they graduate.
Yeah, it's what makes the game special. There's going to be a finality to it on Friday night for Hammonton, one way or the other. The tough part about it is it's their last game, and the teams have had so much success going into the season that nobody goes into this game thinking they're going to lose. Hammonton's 10-1, Timber Creek's 9-2. Someone's going to have to come out on the short end Friday night. But again, it's the last time for Hammonton senior class that have kind of had an outstanding 2 seasons. A lot of them have played since they were sophomores. Pete Lancetta talked to him earlier tonight. So they're a good group, fun kids to be around. So Friday night at home. But where do you want to play your last high school football game? You want to play it at home
Sure.
on a Friday night for a championship. You really can't ask more than that.
Yeah, and Crescenzo talked to us a little bit about the opportunity that he has here now to make a statement like this in his last high school football game.
I mean, just simply put, what do you think you have to do to win?
Just play as hard as we can. I mean, it all starts with the practice and stuff like that. We got to practice hard all week, and then we got to be in condition and go out there and play every play like it's our last, which for the seniors, some of it may be.
You are a senior?
Yep.
All right, well, I mean, this being your last high school football game, how do you want it to end?
I'd like to end in a win, and hopefully just for us, the seniors that I play with and a bunch of guys, I mean, we'd like to end it the best we can.